Hampton Falls, New Hampshire, and one of the most prestigious streets in the state. It's not the sort of place you'd expect to find political outsiders, but after years of supporting establishment Republicans, local business leaders Lou and Marianne Gargiulo have had enough. They now head up their county's Donald Trump campaign.
I think that people get elected, they go to Washington, and they're there forever. And to stay there, it requires them to rely on the special interests, the lobbyists, and all of those people who provide them the funds necessary to run.
But is Donald Trump really the answer? Many see him as extreme, but Marianne and Lou reject that. They point out that he's relatively moderate on social issues like gay rights. They say the Republican Party has to catch up.
You got to let it go. You got to listen to the Pope. He's sending a very powerful message. The Pope is not saying it's okay. The Pope is saying you have to forgive and move on, and they have to take that posture too.
Meanwhile, volunteers are working the phones at a Bernie Sanders campaign base in a rural part of the state.
Hi, this is Peggy from the Bernie Sanders campaign. Is Gary home?
Right up to the last minute, people like Peggy Greeno are doing 3-hour shifts. Many New Hampshire voters are getting tired of all the calls.
We've been sworn at. You know, we've had a few people.
But campaigning is a serious business for Peggy, a working-class wife and mother with long-term health problems. She and her sons canvassed just like this for Hillary Clinton 8 years ago. But now they see Clinton as a slave to the big money behind her campaign.
Very much. Thanks. Have a good day. Get out and vote. Thanks. You too. I don't see how you can be for the people and do the right thing if you have people behind you paying you to do something else. You know, because you're going to go where the money goes, and you know where the money comes from. It's like you're gonna take care of your payday. You know, and she's done a very good job doing that. So and I feel she'll continue to do that instead of taking care of people like us.
Back in Hampton Falls, Lou doesn't have much in common with Peggy, but they do agree on this, that a choice between establishment candidates isn't much of a choice at all.
I think that there are plenty of establishment politicians in Washington that really don't see a difference between a Bush or a Clinton as president because they know essentially everything will remain the same. When they look at somebody like a Bernie Sanders or a Donald Trump, they're extremely fearful that these people would make dramatic changes.
Dramatic change is exactly what Peggy and her family are yearning for. In fact, as they return to base, an even bigger word is on their minds: Bernie Sanders' call for a political revolution.
It's a big word, but it's a big time and it's a big need. And I think revolution is really what needs to be in order for my kids to even have something to look forward to. The revolution is hope for me, you know, and without hope, what is there? And we don't have any right now. So I think, you know, the America I want is one with the future.
No, you weren't.
Peggy and her fellow volunteers are hoping that that future starts here. But is America really ready for a revolution? Or even just an outsider? Questions that hang in the air as night falls in New Hampshire.